Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. So we welcome back Jonathan and Alison. You are our first pair on the show. You were also our first pair on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your second chance. Remind us how you did.
Not very well. We went out on the first question.
You did. Sea creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that Andrina was a sea creature, and it turns out it's a character in The Little Mermaid. Which is particularly annoying because our daughter, who's 7, has just started watching Disney films.
You say our daughter Andrina loves that. Yeah.
Little Mermaid's the next one on the pile to watch.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Should have watched it before we came.
You just should have. So then, obviously, sea creatures didn't treat you very well last time round. No. They left you high and dry. So what do you hope is going to come up this afternoon?
Literature, food.
Literature,
classic
food.
TV for Jonathan.
Classic TV.
Classic TV.
Anything you particularly like not to come up, Jonathan?
Anything to do with celebrity culture. Which I have. It's a complete closed book to me.
OK, well, very best of luck to the pair of you. I hope we will see you for much longer than we did last time.
Thank you.
Next, we welcome Rich and Daniel. Now, how do you two know each other?
We know each other because we're both members of the same amateur dramatics company.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Whereabouts is that?
Based in Felixstowe in Suffolk.
In fact, so are you working on anything at the moment?
I'm on the committee, but I'm not actually in the next up-and-coming show that they'll be doing. They're doing The Wizard of Oz this time round.
And you're not doing that, Rich?
No.
Surely if you're on the committee, you'd have pick of the parts.
I have enough to do trying to sort out the production ends than to jump on the boards and start singing and dancing.
Right, sure. Daniel, what was the last thing you did?
Oh, yes. I was in Panto last. I suppose it was about a year ago, and I got to be one of the ugly sisters.
Oh.
Can you see the resemblance?
No.
Good.
A sister, Daniel, not an ugly sister.
I was the nicer-looking one, of course.
Oh, right. Hang on, you're gesturing like Rich was the other one, or was he? No.
No.
What do you hope he's going to come up this afternoon, Daniel?
Anything to do with geography, anything to do with science, which I'm studying at university. I've got this strange fascination with lists. Things like capital cities, rivers, anything like that would be good.
Very well. It sounds like you're absolutely perfectly suited for this show. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you here. Next, we welcome Simon and Morgan. How do you two know each other?
We're father and son from Sidcup in Kent.
Very good indeed. Morgan, what are you doing at the moment?
I'm studying my A-levels at college.
What A-levels are you taking?
Maths, chemistry and biology.
Ah, very good. So the scientific end of the spectrum is covered. Now, Simon, what are you hoping is going to come up this afternoon?
Science and sport, really, to be honest.
Very good. Also, a bit of a science crossover there.
Well, yeah, I'm an IT graduate.
Very good. It's great to have you here. Anyway, very, very best of luck to the pair of you. And finally, we've got Jill and G. How do you two know each other?
G's my personal trainer.
Very impressive. I'm not sure we've yet had a trainer-trainee.
That is a first, isn't it?
And you're still great friends?
Yes, surprisingly enough, although she does put me through it.
Does she really? Yeah, I bet she does.
Well, I'm having my revenge on her by bringing her on here.
Really? I see. And when you're not training Jill, G, what do you like to do?
I'm a bit of a computer person. I like designing things, and I'm developing the designing side into mugs, T-shirts, and I'm designing clocks at the moment.
Clocks?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. If obscurity were a sport, he'd be top of the Premiership. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hiya.
How are you? Are you well?
I am well, thank you. Yes, how are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. We've only got one returning pair today, and that's Jonathan and Alison, who were knocked out in the first round last time.
Yes.
So a very open field that they'll be hoping to prove themselves. The first question today is one of those ones that some people at home will just be amazing at. There's a certain type of person who will see the first question absolutely ace the whole thing, I suspect. Whether any of those people are amongst our pairs, I don't know.
OK, well, I look forward to that. Now, we've put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless. So we're after the obscure answers they didn't get. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, So we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £6,000. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category this afternoon is skills. Skills. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many types of knot as they could. As many types of knot. Richard.
Yeah, all the correct answers in this round will be types of functional or decorative knot.
OK, right. Jonathan and Alison, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. Now, in this round, we're going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board in each pass. Your first set of 7 answers reads like this. Snuggle hitch, sheep shank, half hitch, reef knot, sealed knot, corned beef knot, noose. Let me read those again. Snuggle hitch, sheep shank, half hitch, reef knot, sealed knot, corned beef knot, noose. Now, I can tell you that there is at least one pointless answer on that board, and there is at least one incorrect answer. Pick an incorrect answer and you will score the maximum of 100 points. Now, Alison. Alison, for some reason, I think you might be quite good at this.
Well, I don't know why.
I think it's because you live on the Isle of Wight, and therefore I assume you all must be nautical, and nautical people know their knots.
Unfortunately, I don't have a boat because I'm a rubbish sailor. I do get terribly seasick, so...
OK.
OK, make a decision, and I'm going to have the half hitch.
The half hitch. There it is. 1, 2, 3 down. Let's see if half hitch is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said half hitch. It's right. Oh, very good score, Alison. 10 points for the half hitch. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Alison. Good answer. The half hitch is normally used as the basis for other knots, but can be used by itself for very light loads.
Good. Rich, we're looking for types of knot.
It's a hard one to follow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to play safe and go with a sealed knot.
A sealed knot?
Yes.
OK, that's safe. You know that to be...
I am almost 100%
You have heard of the sealed knot?
I've heard of seals.
OK, seems perfectly reasonable. Let's see if that is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said sealed knot. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, Rich, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry, Richard.
Yeah, if that's you playing it safe, Rich, I would love to see when you play dangerously. That is going to be quite something. Sealed Knot is actually the name of the society that reenacts English Civil War battles. They're the Sealed Knot.
Now then, Simon, we're looking for types of knot.
I'm not very good at knots at all. I recognise about, I said 4 or 5 up there. I was tempted to go for a dodgy one, but I think I'm going to play it safe with a sheep shank.
A sheep shank?
Yep.
That is safe in your...
I believe so, yeah.
Let's see if sheep shank is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Sheep shank. Sounds good. It's right. Very well done indeed. 15. Thank you. 15 points for sheep shank.
Yeah, well played, Simon. It's a knot usually used to shorten the length of a rope.
OK, thank you. Now then, G. Nobody has yet found the pointless, and there might be more than one pointless answer on that board.
Well, corned beef knot. You've got to wonder why it's there. It's a strange knot if it's not a knot. But half hitch is a knot, so it makes me think snuggle hitch is. Reef knot is definitely one, and I don't think noose is, because probably the knot is something that is on... The noose is the noose, and the knot is the knot. I'll play safe, go for reef knot.
OK, you're going to go for reef knot. There it is. Let's see if reef knot is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said reef knot. $57. It's not bad.
OK.
It's not bad. It's a lot better than 100.
Not good.
Reef knot, Richard?
Yeah, biggest answer on the board, but a correct answer. The name comes from when you used to tie up sails. It used to be referred to as reefing sails. So it's the knot you use when you tied up sails. Let's take a look at the rest of the board and see which one's not a knot. The noose is the knot, actually. It's used obviously by hangmen, also used in a lasso. That would have scored you 11 points. And of those other two, Alexander, do you think they're pointless or do you think they're incorrect?
I completely agree with G. Corned beef knot. Yeah, that must be pointless.
Well, I'll tell you, it is pointless, corned beef knot. Actually, they used to tie up joints of corned beef before they cooked it with that knot. So it's a pointless answer. Very well done if you got that at home. And snuggle hitch.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a knot.
It is a knot, yeah. You should have gone for snuggle hitch. It's another pointless answer. It's only recently created, sort of came into, was discovered in 1987, invented by a man called Owen K. Nuttall of West Yorkshire.
Very good. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores. Alison and 10. Great score. Up then 5 points to Simon and Morgan on 15. Very good indeed. Up quite substantially to G and Jill on 57. As it turns out, not a bad score, really. I mean, it was the highest on the board, but that's without the 100 there from Rich and Daniel. Yes. Daniel, you're going to have to find a pointless answer, really, on the next pass and hope that somebody else scores high. And that's the only way you're going to make it through to the next round. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? We're going to come back down the line. OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We are looking for types of knot, remember. Here we go. We have got ski-bow, clove hitch, granny knot, shackleford, monkey's fist, figure of 8 and bowline. Let me read those again. Ski-bow, clove hitch, granny knot, shackleford, monkey's fist, figure of 8, bowline. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless and at least one of those answers is incorrect. So avoid those incorrect ones. Jill, what's that new board looking like to you?
Well, I was a guide, and although I was useless at them, I did have to learn quite a bit about knots. I'm going to go for bowline.
Bowline. Very good indeed. Bowline. You are on 57. The high scorers are Daniel and Rich on 100. If you can score 42 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round. There's your red line. Bowline. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said bowline. Well done, Jill, you're through. 28 for bowline. Takes your total up to 85.
They call it the king of knots, the bowline. Incredibly strong.
King of knots. The bowline. The rabbit comes at the hole, round the tree, back into the hole.
Yeah, but we're just doing a quiz. No, you're quite right. That's how one would tie one.
Indeed.
Familiar to sailors everywhere, bowlines.
Absolutely. Morgan, you were on 15. Our high scorers are Daniel and Rich on 100. There is a pointless answer on that board. I think you're the man to pick it out.
Well, my mum's a guider, so she does lots of knots, so I should be good. But with the 100, I'm going to play it safe and go figure of 8.
The figure of 8 knot. OK, you have to score 84 or less. There is your red line. If you can come below that red line with figure of 8 knot, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said figure of 8 knot. It's right, you're through. Wow. Very, very impressive score, Morgan. That scores you 3, takes your total up to 18. Figure of 8, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Morgan. Good answer. Your mum will be happy as well. It's used to take the strain in sailing and rock climbing, that sort of thing, attaching ropes to harnesses. Looks like a figure of 8.
OK, thank you very much. Now, Daniel.
Well, it's time to take a little bit of a punt. Let's go with monkey's fist.
Monkey's fist. It's a punt. Monkey's fist. There it is. Let's hope that is a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said monkey's fist. Well done, Daniel. It's right. Very good. I hope this might go a long way down. Let's see. Yes! Very, very well done indeed. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £6,250. And most importantly, it scores you nothing, leaving your total at 100. Well done, Daniel. Richard?
Yeah, very good answer, Daniel. Good risk to take as well. It's the type of knot, it's used to add weight to the end of a rope before you throw it.
Now then, Jonathan. The high scorers are still Daniel and Rich on 100 points. You are on 10 points. If you can score 89 or less with your answer, you are through to the next round.
I'm sure granny knot and clove hitch are knots. Shackleford sounds interesting, but I'm going to be cautious. I think we can afford to be cautious, so I'm going to go clove hitch.
Clove hitch, you are saying. There is your red line. If clove hitch gets you below that red line, it's nice and high, as you say, you are through to the next round. Clove hitch. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Well done, and you're through. Wow, very good. Very well done indeed. Clove hitch scores you 9, takes your total up to 19. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Jonathan. You have learned well. A clove hitch, it's essentially 2 half hitches, a clove hitch. Let's see what else is on the board. You're quite right, granny knot was also a correct answer. Would have scored you 35 points. Were you tempted with Shackleford?
I thought it might... I was wondering if it was confusing with Shackleton, as in the Explorer. So that's why I was cautious.
OK, it's actually Ted Shackleford who played Gary Ewing in Knots Landing. So very, very lucky you avoided it. And Skibo, absolutely Skibo Castle, where many people tie the knot, including Madonna and Guy Ritchie.
Thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Rich and Daniel. Bad luck. What have you learnt from your short spell?
Not to go first.
Not to go first. That's quite a good strategy to bring back next time. Well, anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you next time. You've been fantastic contestants.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for playing. Thank you. Well, for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, obviously, only 2 pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. OK, our category for round 2 this afternoon is soap families. Soap families. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our second round question concerns EastEnders characters and their surnames. EastEnders characters and their surnames. In this round, we're about to show you a list of pairs of EastEnders characters, past and present. We asked 100 people to tell us which surname is or has been shared by each pair. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 pairs of Christian names on each pass. You've got to give us a surname. The more obscure ones will score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect surname, though, you're going to score 100 points. So there's 12 in all across the 2 passes.
OK, so we are looking for the surname that is or has been shared by each of these pairs of EastEnders characters. Here we go. We have got Phil and Grant, Chelsea and Libby, Robbie and Carol, Mickey and Darren, Ricky and Janine, Stacey and Zoe. And I'll read those one more time. Phil and Grant, Chelsea and Libby, Robbie and Carol, Mickey and Darren, Ricky and Janine, Stacey and Zoe. Now, as always on Pointless, we are looking for the answer that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, Jonathan, are you or are you not an EastEnders viewer?
I think I saw it once in 1985.
Right, OK.
I recognise one pair, and I think it's the absolute obvious answer, and he'll probably score 100 anyway. Phil and Grant Mitchell.
Phil and Grant Mitchell.
I have no idea who any of the others are.
OK, fair enough. You're saying Phil and Grant Mitchell. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Phil and Grant Mitchell. $72. It's not a terrible score. And remember, you've taken probably the obvious lifeline answer off the board. Richard.
Yeah, absolutely right. The Mitchell brothers, played by Ross Kemp and Steve McFadden.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Morgan. There are the pairs of characters. You have to supply a surname.
I definitely knew the top one. I knew Mitchell, and that was pretty much it. I think I know Ricky and Janine. I'm hoping it's Fowler, but I'm not 100%.
Ricky and Janine,
so...
you are saying Fowler.
Yeah.
You hope Fowler. Ricky and Janine Fowler, you're saying. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Ricky and Janine Fowler. Morgan, I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. But I have a feeling it may not be the last 100 points we see on this round. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Morgan. Ricky Fowler is a famous American golfer, but I'm afraid that's not the right answer. I won't give you the right answer just in case Jill would like to have a go at that one. OK,
thanks, Richard. Now then, Jill, do you watch EastEnders?
Not at all.
Right. It's going to be one of those great high-scoring rounds, this one.
I'm going to have a stab at Ricky and Janine Mason.
Ricky and Janine Mason. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. No. Bad luck. I'm afraid that also is an incorrect answer, which means you also score the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky, Jill. Again, one of those categories you either know or you don't. So I suspect plenty of people at home will have got all 6, and lots of other people will have probably only got the top one. Ricky and Janine Butcher, therefore, would have scored you 51. Robbie and Carol Jackson would have scored you 24. Stacey and Zoe is Slater. That would have scored you 39. Chelsea and Libby is Fox, which would have scored you 10. And Mickey and Darren are the Millers. It was the best answer on the board for 6 points. Very well done if you said Mickey and Darren Miller.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Jonathan and Alison looking very strong there, 72. And then we go up a little bit from you, and we come to Morgan and Simon and Jill and G on 100 points each. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more EastEnders pairs on the board, and here they are. We have got Shirley and Zaza, Ian and Pete, Bradley and Jack, Alfie and Spencer, Arthur and Mark, Johnny and Ruby. Let me read those one more time. Shirley and Zaza, Ian and Pete, Bradley and Jack, Alfie and Spencer, Arthur and Mark, Johnny and Ruby. Now, remember, we are looking for the surname which is or has been shared by each pair. And you are trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, G, I think you're going to be quite good at this.
Well, but I think they're all well known. But I'll go for Alfie and Spencer Moon.
Alfie and Spencer Moon.
Yeah.
OK, well, you are the high scorers, joint high scorers on 100 points. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. You have gone for Alfie and Spencer Moon.
Yeah.
OK, let's see if Moon is indeed the surname for Alfie and Spencer. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Badan is right. 59. Moon scores you 59, takes your total up to 159. Richard.
Yeah, actually the lowest score we've had so far, isn't it, 59?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfie and Spencer Moon.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Simon. The high scorers are G and Jill on 159. If you can score 58 or less, you are through to the head-to-head.
Yeah, that's the trick, though, isn't it? I watched it once, and I think Arthur and Mark are Fowler.
Arthur and Mark Fowler. You need to score 58 or less. There is your red line. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Mark and Arthur Fowler. It's right. And you are through to the next round. Very, very well done, Simon. Very well answered. That scores you 43, takes your total up to 143. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Simon. Although essentially all you did was give the same answer as Morgan. But this time it was right. Very well played. Very good answer.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, we have a contest on our hands here. G and Jill are the high scorers on 159. Alison and Jonathan are on 72. Alison, if you can score 86 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round. Do you ever watch EastEnders?
I did watch it a little bit when I was younger, and when my mother watches it, and when I stay with her, it's, you know, it's on in the same room. Johnny and Ruby mean absolutely nothing to me. Shirley and Zaza, yeah, I can picture Shirley, but I haven't a clue what her surname is. Bradley and Jack, I can picture Bradley, he seems very nice. And Ian and Pete, this is the one I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Ian and Pete Beale.
Ian and Pete Beale. Well, like I said, you want to score 86 or less with that. There is your red line. If Ian and Pete Beale get you below that red line, you are through to the head-to-head. Very best of luck, Alison. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Ian and Pete Beale. Yep, very well done. You are through to the head-to-head. Ian and Pete Beale did it for you. 65, they score you, taking your total up to 137. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Alison. Ian Beale and Pete Beale. Ian Beale, the longest-running male character on EastEnders. Well, let's take a look at the other three. Bradley and Jack, who've been much in evidence more recently in EastEnders, are the Brannings. Would have scored you 29 points. Johnny and Ruby, they are the Allens. They would have scored you 8. And Shirley and Zaza are the Carters. It's the best answer on the board with 5. Very well done if you got that one.
Very good. Well, thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's G and Jill. But we will see you again next time.
Okay.
And we will look forward to that very much. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. Great contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, Jonathan and Alison, Simon and Morgan. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands £6,250. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. Now, for each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. Right, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many US states bordering Mexico as they could. US states bordering Mexico, Richard.
Yeah, quite simple, this one. Just any of the US states which share a land border with Mexico, please.
Right, thanks, Richard. Jonathan and Alison, because you've played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. US states bordering Mexico.
I'm not a clue. You look down there. Can you think? Come on, yeah, they will, yeah. They're bound to, yeah.
OK, have you reached consensus?
Well, we could only really think of 2, so we're going for Florida.
You're going to say Florida. OK. Simon and Morgan?
The one I think we're going to go for is Texas. Yeah, we're going to go Texas.
You're going to go Texas. OK. So we have Florida and Texas. Jonathan and Alison said Florida. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, you hopeful, Jonathan?
Not really.
If it is, let's see how many people said it. Florida.
Oh, dear.
Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Simon and Morgan have said Texas. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Texas. It's right, which is all it had to be. 73. A high score, but it merely had to be right, which means after the first question, Simon and Morgan are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, what was the other answer you were thinking of?
Texas.
Oh, OK. And if they'd said Texas, would you have had another answer?
Arizona, California.
Oh, you'd still have lost. You'd still have lost, because, yeah, there's 4, so well done if you got all 4 of them. Let's take a look. And Arizona's the best answer on the board, actually, 36. Then New Mexico, the clue's in the name, on 50. California 55, and Texas 73.
OK, well, thanks very much. Here is your second question. Jonathan and Alison, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Simon and Morgan, if you win this one, you are through to the final. OK, here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Manchester United managers as they could. Manchester United managers.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 7 men who've managed Manchester United from 1950 up to the beginning of 2011. The only name we won't accept is Jimmy Murphy, who took over briefly after the Munich air disaster. So we're looking for any of the 7 men who've managed Manchester United from 1950 through to the start of 2011.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Simon and Morgan, you get to go first this time. OK, we have an answer.
Going to go for Ron Atkinson.
Ron Atkinson. OK, thanks very much. Ron Atkinson has been taken. Jonathan and Alison, you have to answer in such a way that you win this question. Otherwise, we say goodbye to you.
I think, and this is a uneducated guess, Alf Ramsey.
Alf Ramsey. OK, so we have Ron Atkinson, we have Alf Ramsey. Simon and Morgan said Ron Atkinson. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Ron Atkinson. This will decide, possibly, who goes through to the final. That's right. 24. 24 for Ron Atkinson. Jonathan and Alison are going with Alf Ramsey. This is a bit of a stab in the dark, isn't it?
A big stab in the dark.
It had to be someone obscure. And you're hoping that maybe this might be right and might score lower than 24. OK. It has to, for you to stay in the game. Good luck. Alf Ramsey. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means after only 2 questions, Simon and Morgan are through to the final 2-0. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky guys. Sir Alf Ramsey was the Ipswich boss. That was his big job. There are 7 names on the list. We only had 7 managers in 60-odd years, which is quite good going. Let's take a look at all the names. Wilf McGuinness was the best answer on the board with 5. Franco Farrell and Dave Sexton both scored 10. There's Tommy Docherty, 21. Ron Atkinson, 24. And these top 2 answers have managed the club for pretty much 50 years between the 2 of them. Sir Matt Busby, 52, and Alex Ferguson right at the top on 86.
Thanks very much. Alison, did you recognise one of those?
I actually recognise Tommy Docherty now because my brother was briefly interested in football in his late teens and supported Manchester United because we come from the northwest, and Tommy Docherty, it was the manager in those days.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, there you are. So, the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, it's Jonathan and Alison. So, yes, bad luck. I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you now. It's been great having you on the show for both shows.
Thank you.
But you've done very well. You've come all the way through in this second show through to the head-to-head. But I'm afraid this is the end of the road. But thanks very much for playing.
Thank you.
But for Simon and Morgan, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £6,250. Well, congratulations, Simon and Morgan. You've fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy, so very, very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £6,250. The rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we've had 1 pointless answer on the show today. You only have to find 1 more, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are composers, American actresses, or baseball. Composers, American actresses, baseball. What do you think?
Well, composers, there's Mozart, and that's about all I know. So, I know a few more. But American actresses, not really. It could be anything. It could be Monroe. It could be, you know, here something more recent. So I'm not sure where. Baseball, I like sport, so I'd say baseball's probably the best one.
Well, yeah, I think I'd have to go with him on that. American actresses, there are so many, and I don't really know their
composers, you do it
films.
yourself, basically, so...
Yeah, composers, I know about 4 more than him. Baseball, I think, not, you know, not the best sport for us, but probably the best chance we've got.
Baseball.
What would be a good category within baseball for you? Do you think?
Teams, probably.
Teams.
Yeah. Let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Major League Baseball teams as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any team who played Major League US Baseball in the 2010 season. That's either in the American League or the National League. So anyone who played in the 2010 series, which ended in November 2010. Very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £6,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
You've got LA Dodgers, you've got Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Washington Capitals or Nationals. Not sure which one it is.
Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota Wild. Is that no? That's when you get ice hockey.
What about Golden State?
I'm not sure. I've definitely got to go for Anaheim Angels.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one.
Anaheim Angels.
Washington one, I think that'll be good, but I'm not sure it's Capitals or Nationals. So do we have
Nationals, Washington Nationals, and I think Minnesota Wild.
That's not...
Golden State Lions. Yeah, let's go Golden State Lions. I think it is.
Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors. Yeah.
So,
okay, Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. I think it's Washington Capitals.
Washington Capitals. I think it's Washington Nationals.
Both of them then, because I think that might be pointless, one of them.
Okay, and is that it?
And then what's the other one? Anaheim Angels or the?
Let's do Anaheim
5
Angels.
seconds left.
Yeah, we've done.
Okay, I think we've argued it out.
OK, well, your time is up. We were looking for Major League Baseball teams. I now need your 3 answers.
So we'll go
Okay.
Anaheim Angels.
Anaheim Angels.
The Anaheim Angels.
California. Washington. Now, we're not sure which is baseball and which is basketball, so we're going to go for the Washington Nationals.
Washington Nationals.
And the Washington Capitals.
And the Washington Capitals.
One of those is a baseball team, but we think the other one's a basketball team, so we're a bit...
You're going to
not sure.
cover your options.
So we're going to cover the
OK,
bases.
well, very sensible. But you think whichever one it is...
I think whichever one it is, it's
might
not very well
stand a
known.
chance.
It's not very well known at all.
OK, we just confirm your order, the order you want them to go up in.
OK. Anaheim Angels.
Anaheim Angels.
Washington Capitals.
Washington Capitals.
Washington Nationals.
And Washington Nationals last.
Yes.
OK, here they are. Anaheim Angels, Washington Capitals, Washington Nationals. There they are. We were looking for Major League Baseball teams. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that jackpot. £6,250. OK, let's see how many people said Anaheim Angels. Is it right? How many people said it? It has to be right and it has to be pointless. Good luck. It's right. OK, you knew this was going to be right. But this will show us how much our 100 people know about US baseball. Unfortunately, that is not a pointless answer. Mind you, I think we can draw a lot of optimism from that. My goodness, if that's how well they know their baseball. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. £6,250. What would you do with that?
I've got university next year, so a lot of it would go towards that. But probably a holiday, spend something on myself, I'm not sure.
Maybe something for your old dad.
Well,
what do you think?
I was planning to use my portion. We're interested in an exotic cycling holiday, and we were looking at Jordan, but the Middle East is probably not the best place. Oh, yes.
I'm not sure that would be enough either.
No.
Well, you've done something very clever and strategic here. One of these remaining answers is wrong, and one of them is going to be so right.
We hope so.
We don't know which one it is. OK, well, very, very, very best of luck. It's an either-or. Slightly Russian roulette. OK, Washington Capitals is your next answer. We are looking for Major League US baseball teams. This one has to be right, and it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. For £6,250, let's see if the Washington Capitals is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Very, very best of luck. Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals is not the right answer. OK. Now, which one of you said Washington Capitals? Which one said Washington Nationals?
I'm going to blame him, but...
Fair enough. I can't remember, to be honest.
I know, well, I'm pretty sure one of them is a baseball team. So hopefully it's not going to be across the next one, but...
And it's so obscure,
yeah.
OK. You only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. It's all resting on the Washington Nationals. You've just got to hope that's not their darts team. This has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot, £6,250. There it is at the bottom of the list, the Washington Nationals. Just them standing between you and £6,250. The Washington Nationals. Is it right? How many people said it? Washington Nationals. It's right. OK, the Anaheim Angels took us down to 1. This is your last and final shot at that jackpot of £6,250. Oh, no! Unfortunately, we didn't manage to find that all-important, pointless answer, so I'm really sorry to say you don't win today's jackpot of £6,250, which rolls over onto the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants. You do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy. Yep. So, Richard.
That's unlucky. We've seen a couple of teams this series have got 2 scores of 1 in the jackpot round. It's very tough. Let's go through the answers you did give. Anaheim Angels, absolutely, also known as Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim as well. Right. The Angels, and the Washington Capitals are an ice hockey team. Yeah. But let's take a look at the pointless answers. I know you're going to recognise some of them, so I apologise in advance. Let's take a look.
Dodgers.
Colorado Rockies. Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals, they were pointless. There were 3 other pointless teams, the Oakland Athletics, Philadelphia Phillies, who won the World Series in 2008. They lost more baseball games than any other team in history, Philadelphia Phillies, because they've been going for so long under the same name. They lost over 10,000 games. And the Seattle Mariners, those were the 6 pointless answers there.
You knew some of those?
Knew of the Rockies, but didn't pop into my head.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Simon and Morgan, but it's been great having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing.
Thank you.
So nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £7,250. Join us next time to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.